As a marketer, most of us realize that so much has changed around our world. What has worked just a few years back may not even work today. Marketing is transforming at a fantastic rate, and it is time for us to transform the way we do marketing, or else, most certainly, we'll be left behind. P.S. How do we communicate this to our boss? I'm Lester Lee, partner of Optimal e-marketing and a certified partner of Hubspot. The way we communicate with one another has changed so much in the last 10 years, from cellular telephone to now mobile smartphones, from analog to digital broadband. That is the reason why we are not surprised at all to tell you that consumer behavior has also changed. The invention of television and radio helped us perfect the one-way messaging, or what we call mass media. But today, with the invention of internet and even mobile internet, there are real-time dialogue with millions of people talking to one another without seemingly anyone in control. This is the future of the way we communicate. No marketer should be surprised to see these statistics. And this statistics is only going up in one direction. Whether you are in the first world, in the United States or in Europe, or in the third world, access to the internet is almost universal. Whether it is at a cafe or through a smartphone, it is everywhere today. So what if everyone uses the internet? To the marketers, what is important is how does the internet impact the buying cycle? Apparently, research is telling us that about the same percentage, 8 out of 10, internet users today conduct product research online. This is significant because that's the starting point of most purchasing decision, is the research. If you're trying to understand consumer behavior, look no further than the 10.3 billion searches or more that's done on Google every month. Whether it's typed in on a desktop or a cell phone or a smartphone, 10.3 billion pieces of information tell us what the world is thinking about and what are they researching and what are they looking for. Today, virtually everyone has access to the internet, whether at work 8 hours a day or at home or at play. Whether they're connected or whether they're mobile, the connectivity to a consumer on the internet is almost seamless. And 1/3 of the consumers today spend 3 or more hours online every day. So if you're not reaching them in the digital world, you're probably missing a very, very large opportunity. Don't get me wrong, email is still a very powerful tool in terms of marketing and communications. However, as we are tracking today, we can safely note that email has got some competition. Social networks and blogs today account for 3 times more minutes than email. Digital marketing is not that simple. Even if you have the budget to buy advertisement online, such as PPCs, you may not get the results that you want because 70% of the link search users click on are organic, not paid advertising. So, how do you get your products, your company, or your services visible to be within that 70% category? But more importantly, if you're there, you are not paying for that extra click or that extra conversion. While outbound phone marketing or telemarketing is certainly not dead, it is becoming much more difficult. When the DNC was launched, within weeks, millions of Americans registered. Similar type of laws have been passed throughout the world, including as far-fetched as Singapore, which launched this year. So we would expect that the DNC form of control that the FTC started in America is not going to stop there. and it's going to limit the ability marketers have in terms of outbound cold calling of customers. But even if they could, the reality is that the rate of success is very, very, very small. This may be a surprise to some marketers, but companies that blog, companies that take the time to tell their story, especially interesting stories about their products, about things that their consumers are interested in, 50% of these websites or companies get more visitors. Again, this may surprise you, but based on Hubspot statistics, 57% of businesses have acquired at least one customer through their company's blogging effort. Fad or not, Facebook and social media have gotten the attention of marketers. 67% of B2C companies and 41% of B2B companies claim to have acquired a customer through Facebook. Likewise, for those of you who are more familiar with Twitter than Facebook, 42% of companies have similarly acquired a customer through this channel. HubSpot has done extensive research on the effectiveness of inbound versus outbound. And one of the things that they found is that inbound marketing costs 62% less than traditional outbound marketing. And this is probably no surprise to marketers because of all the restrictions that is being placed on outbound marketing, such as do not call, telemarketing, and as well as spammers that are being blocked by spam engines. So there's a lot of things happening out there that is making the outbound marketing less effective and therefore perhaps more costly to generate the same lead. By now, it is obvious that any marketer who has seen or understood what has changed around them would realize that the most important thing that they need to change is how they market their products and services. Whether the same techniques or the same investments will work is highly doubtful. Understanding what has changed and understanding what change is needed to remain relevant and effective in getting our products and service message across to the consumer is the challenge that most marketers face today. Consumers today jealously guard their time. They don't want to waste time on things that they're not interested in or products that they absolutely do not care about. In fact, they are even angered or upset when their time is taken from them through interruption marketing or outbound marketing. And this is the consumer that will likely become more aggressive to the marketers in the future. The good news and the bad news. Well, let me start with the bad news first. In reality, the consumers are ahead of us. Through do not call registrations, through spam bots that block spam, through any way that they can block out outbound marketing messages, is making it much more difficult. And the marketers are generally one step behind the consumers in terms of how they and the techniques they're using to block us. However, the good news is that there are ways that we can do to win back their trust. And we need to look at ways that we can transform our relationship with the consumers. And most of this is done through inbound marketing. If a company believes that they're behind in the marketing curve, the first thing that they need to do is to have a proposed transformation plan. And I mean not just rewriting their marketing plan or how they advertise or what channels they use, but more of a transformation of the way the organization communicates overall with the consumer. And this requires quite a bit of change behavior. You will first need to change the way your sales and marketing organization views how they interact with the consumer. In most companies, today's approach is outbound, and primarily it is get in their face when they're not looking. How can we sneak up behind them? When can we find a free time to drop another ad so that we can get their attention, whether they want it or not? The transformation is to get a cultural change in culture and a change we do sales and marketing to what we call tomorrow's approach of getting found. And basically, making your company or your products message the first thing they get found when they are looking for it. While there are numerous search engines out there, Google commands a huge lead in terms of the number of searches that are performed worldwide using Google. And therefore, to the marketers, it's no surprise that Google, in fact, defines many ways how we do digital marketing. And don't forget, Google itself is a business, and in the business of making ad revenues. So there is a little bit of a conflict here, but it's also important that Google is an important tool for most marketers. And you can almost consider Google as your new business card. The marketing mix is already changing, and HubSpot has been tracking this trend. Year on year, the amount of dollars that have been spent on the outbound is declining, with more dollars going into inbound. But having said that, there is still a lot of outbound activity, and a lot of companies and a lot of marketing organizations are still using the old interruption based marketing. There's a lot of opportunity in inbound marketing or permission based marketing that is yet untapped. I love this slide because of its simplicity, and everybody loves a teddy bear. So it reminds me of the most important principle of marketing: do things that people like, do things that your consumer like, and do things that they want and they'll come back for more. So start creating and publishing and giving content to your consumers that are valuable to them. Valuable meaning that it meets the interest of things that they're looking for. You make it easy for them to find, and you make it entertaining. Whether it is an FAQ, how-tos, ebooks, videos, blogs, it doesn't really matter. But what matters is that if your content is exciting, interesting, and relevant to your consumers, they will stay connected with you, and they want to stay connected with a company that is perceived to not only make the products or sell you the products, but are also able to keep you educated, informed, or entertained about the product. Interesting concept. Who would ever thought that a marketer is generous? But be generous may be the top mantra in digital marketing. We have seen that many successful companies begin their relationship by simply giving things away for free. You can almost argue that that's what Google did, that's what Facebook did, and so many other types of digital marketing, including Amazon, who gave away thousands and thousands of free ebooks to get you to buy into the concept. And quite realistically, most of this can be scaled up at very little cost, because in most digital, in the digital world, the marginal cost of producing one extra product or digital product is almost nothing. But however, from the marketing perspective, the more we give, the more likely we will get. And there are many ways to be generous, and this is something that we can think about in a digital sense that we could not think about in the physical sense. You could not give everyone a free sample. But with a digital book, yes, you could give everyone the free chapter, and it would cost you the same. So that is an important concept that one would need to think about in terms of what generosity brings in terms of digital marketing. Search engine optimization is still very important, but this is not the old search engine optimization. The days when you hire these so-called SEO experts who would try to get you found through different ways that are non-conventional. For example, boosting up your links artificially, or putting robotic content into your website, or doing keywords and things that are probably quick to fix but have no long-term marketing value. The proposition here by rocking your keywords is that when you create content, you create the content that are relevant to the business, and with keywords embedded in it, it will make Google find you a lot better and perhaps rank you, because Google search engines will then realize that your website or your content is valuable to users that are searching for similar contents in the internet. So this is the new age, the new rock age of Google search engine algorithms that more mirrors what the users and the consumers are actually doing. So out with trying to do the shortcuts of SEO, black hat tricks, in with trying to create real content that dazzle your consumers and your customers. This is the most challenging part, probably, in terms of the digital selling process, is the conversion. A lot of times when somebody's interested in your product in Google, you send them to your website, and there's a traditional landing pages and about 5,000 pages of content behind there. It is almost like asking your customer to say, yes, I would like to buy X, and you send them to a Walmart with a million X's of potential products and says, go find it yourself. It is important to give direction and make it simple for consumers to get what they want. Keep your message simple. Create landing pages that directs your customers to exactly what they need. Do not make them hunt and pack through your entire home website. And it's almost like asking them to do their own research for hours. Making it simple with clear call to actions, compelling offers, will make conversion much easier. So this is what you could do effectively online, is create landing pages that are very specific, very focused, and get that segment of customers or that persona of customers exactly what they need. So you're not marketing to everyone using landing pages. You can create one landing pages for one persona, or as many personas as there are landing pages, and that's how you can be great to your customers in terms of giving direction. As a good marketer, you need to know if you're getting the ROI for the dollars invested. If it's not making money, then it certainly doesn't make sense, whether it's digital or whether it's analog or whether it's inbound or outbound. Most importantly, when you set a strategy, you should set a goal and measure your returns against those goals. Therefore, as you invest, you set milestones and you will set KPIs. Fortunately, in the digital world, there's enough data for you to look at and help you guide along the way to make those course corrections that are necessary to help you invest wisely. Hopefully, if you've made it here, you're already convinced that it's time to take action. The next step is to try to at least garner enough support within your organization to make this transformation as a team. If you need any help or if you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. I'm Lester Lee at www.optimalemarketing.com. Thanks.